Hi, welcome to ConvinceMeAudio, CANJAM 2022. Let's have a look and see what they've brought us, shall we? MEZE Audio 109s, ultra comfortable, very light, and very much reminiscent of the 99 classics, but these are comfort levels absolutely insane. Let's have a quick sound test, shall we? Okay, tell us a bit about this.
So this is going to be our first open back dynamic driver.
Right.
Even though it resembles a little bit, it has a few design features that resemble the 99 classics.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty different headphone.
Yes.
First of all, the driver is completely new.
Okay.
This one is a 50mm driver. It has a cellulose diaphragm that's coated in beryllium.
Ah, okay.
The sound signature is completely different from the 99
Oh
classics
my god,
as well.
yes. Oh my god, yes.
Have you noticed as well?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. How'd you find them?
Smooth, comfortable, spacious, and excellent imaging. The MEZE way.
Very
the
big soundstage.
Yes, it's
very
kind
big
of
soundstage indeed.
It just sounds really pleasant to listen to. Just put it on, and there doesn't seem to be any genre barriers.
Oh,
you
yeah.
just sort of have a listen and.
You tried with everything.
Tried with a few genres yesterday, definitely, yeah. But I can't get over the comfort of these pads are insane. I think Empyrean for comfort might have been a little bit dethroned. This is amazing for comfort.
That's
How much do they weigh?
I think around 360 grams,
Yeah.
somewhere around there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, what connectors do we use on this one?
This is the TS 3.5.
Ah, okay.
Same as for the 99 classics.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Hi.
Hi.
Talk to me.
So
Everything
here
on the
is,
table.
we are at the DCS and we are presenting our latest range of products, Lina.
Okay.
After 4 years of researches with the Bartok, which was our way to enter the headphone market as a well-known two-channel brand, we've listened to the market feedback and we've created a Lina, which is an improvement and a product purpose-built for the headphone market.
Yeah.
So
we've got three. We've got the amp, we've got the clock on the DAC on this system right here.
Exactly. So it goes DAC, clock, and amp. All can be purchased as a bundle or separately.
Yes.
Doesn't make any price difference. The DAC is what we are famous for with our ring DAC technology.
Right.
Clock, we've been working on this field for about 30 years, and we're very proud to introduce that new amplifier that we have specially designed to be able to drive very low impedance headphones such as the Zeospantera, the Abyss, 1266, or also some very sensitive IEMs.
Beautiful.
Very versatile product.
Okay, can I have a listen to something?
Sure, the question is what weapon do you want to use?
So, what do we have?
We have a Focal Utopia on your left hand. On your right hand, we have a JPS Labs 1266 TC.
Let's try that one first.
Let's try that one. That way.
Thank you so much.
You're good. Let me check the volume.
So, 1266. We've not reviewed this on the channel yet, but this has been one of the only headphones here after about 5 minutes listen I've wanted to buy instantly. It's spacious, it punches very hard, absolutely smooth, silky sound signature on the system. And it's just one of those, you can't stop smiling, genuinely. I think this might be my favorite Abyss. Going from Diana V2 to the Phi. Not heard the TC yet, Diana TC, I'm gonna check that out momentarily, but 1266, it deserves the hype. The design is unconventional, but the sound, I want to bring this in. Talk to me about everything you got on the desk.
Oh, okay, well, everything. That could take some time. Right. Well, if we're going to start,
What are the highlights? What are the highlights and you're showcasing today?
Highlights probably showcasing probably the one in your hand,
Yes.
and the one you had in your hands a moment ago. So traditionally most planers are open backed. It's nice, simple, easy to do, and everyone does them. Closed back, you obviously have a lot of technical difficulties,
of course,
with sounds bouncing from the cups, especially given the nature of a planar driver, where as much sound goes one way as goes the other.
Yeah.
But yeah, so one of the more famous models that we have, the Sandara,
Yes.
which has been around for a couple of years now, and
people are loving that unit as well. So they've been asking me, the close back, you have to actually listen to this and give us feedback. So
yeah,
very
well,
pleased
basically,
to,
we essentially launched it yesterday.
Okay.
So this is kind of like the first chance anybody in the world has, outside the company, to actually, get their hands on one and have a
seriously?
listen. Yeah. Yesterday, that was the first. We announced it publicly on, I think, Wednesday.
Yes.
But it was that was the first public announcement about it. Yet yesterday was the first chance anyone's had to actually
Have a listen, yeah. So the Sandaras, they're very comfortable. These closebacks remind me like a little bit of the VCs, this sort of shape, and the Emutiques, like the way the cups actually have been designed. I can't quite tell if it's wood. I think it must be wood, but it's very, very, very shiny. Sound signature on this thing is kind of smooth, but it's got upper mid-range forwardness a little bit. But we are using a 30K system here to evaluate a $350 headphone, so bear that in mind. But it's got good depth actually. It's quite surprising, and not only that, separation seems okay. The track that was on there was classical, so it seems very balanced, but I did not get too much sub bass, and there was a tiny bit of upper mid-range-ness coming forward a little bit. But in regards to the reverberation around the cups, it didn't decay overly much, so it seemed interesting. I definitely would like to bring this in for review, I think, and spend a little bit more time with it. Audeze Carbon. Now this unit's actually coming in for review very, very shortly, but its tuning and sound quality is basically derived from the LCD5. You've got that beautiful, literally almost perfect tonal balance, absolutely exceptional and very quick. There is the whole electrostatic farting thing if you move the driver while it's on your head, but if it's sealed, you don't have that issue whatsoever. It's ultra comfortable as well, actually, So, but tonal balance is spectacular. It's very quick, it's very transparent and very detailed. I actually can't wait to get this on the review desk. This ultra comfortable as well, ultra comfortable. Very, very impressed with this. It's been one of the standouts today, actually. So these MM500s are using this LCD5 sort of esque chassis. It's a little bit heavier than the LCD5. Soundscape on this thing is kind of actually, I would say, neutral, with a subtle elevation in the sub bass, and there's a dip in the upper mid range. It's a very smooth sound signature though. It's kind of like neutral, almost neutral dark, but not even quite that much. Pleasant sound. I personally would prefer the LCD XC, but I think using this for mixing and mastering might be okay. In the upper mid-range, there's that dip that I personally can hear, so I don't think it's going to be a big issue, honestly, but it gives it this really pleasant sound, this really relaxed sound. It does highlight what's happening. I mean, I'll be honest with you, it's nowhere near on the levels of the LCD5, but what do you think? It's $3 cheaper, but I think it's a really good headphone, and it's comfortable, and it's slightly heavier than the LCD5, but I think Yeah, and you got, depending on the amps used, you've got a subtle, like kind of intimate sound stage. Everything's in front of you, and then you've got a nice layering from the center going to the back. It's a nice headphone. It'd be interesting to actually test on a variety of equipment to see what the deal is and how it performs and how it scales up and scales down, etc. But definitely the right direction due to that weight reduction. It's very comfortable, honestly.
Hi, I'm Michael.
Hiya, pleasure. So talk to us, what's happening here today?
What's happening here today is we've re-engineered piezo MEMS technology into a full-range audio speaker, and what we're doing is making very tiny speakers in a silicon wafer manufacturing process.
Okay.
And we're, instead of pushing electrons around like a computer chip, we're actually pushing air. We're able to make motion with our silicon, and we have on display here a couple of different speakers, micro speakers in earbuds that we'd like you to listen to if you have some time.
Yes, of course. Let's
Awesome.
go. Oh, blimey, they're light.
Yeah, there's not much to them. We just 3D printed some shells and stuffed our speaker inside. We're not earbud manufacturers.
Gotcha.
We just make the amp and the speaker.
Yeah.
So you can hear this in your ear, right? You can hear my fingers swirling around there?
Yes.
Okay, when that goes away, we've got a perfect seal. Here's the right one.
Okay.
And we'll just test you again for that.
Send me a message after the show. We can just mail you. We can listen.
And let's make sure you have a seal. I'm going to do it again. Do you hear any high frequencies?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
This side is blocking out now.
Okay.
I wish I would understand a bit more
Now.
Yeah, this side's gone. Okay.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay. There we go. We have a flat EQ, and that way you can listen to the way things sound neutrally. So, it's gone?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hiya. So, what's happening here?
So first of all, my name is Micaiah. What was yours?
Pleasure, Koji.
Koji, it's good to meet you.
Likewise, mate. Take
Yeah.
it easy.
Yeah, so I'm with Headam.
Yes.
We are showing off our Blue Hawaii special edition here in London.
Oh, yeah.
So super excited to have you. The DAC that we're running is the i5 Pro IDSD Signature.
Oh, I've got one of those on my desk at the moment being
Good.
reviewed. Fantastic.
Yeah, it
Okay,
is.
I'm very familiar with that. Okay,
Yes.
fantastic.
Yeah, so I've got it set to tube. I've
fantastic.
got the the filter on the anodizing. Music-wise, what would you like to hear?
I listen to everything, so hit me with some classical first. I want to actually see the X9000 like resolution and detail.
Yep, so let me hand it to you if I may.
Fantastic, of course.
Here you are.
Beautiful.
How familiar are you with the Inception soundtrack?
Very.
Good, let's do Time.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's a good piece.
So beautiful. I love it. So, the X9000's latest from Stax. Now, I recently had a listen to this at Audio Sanctuary, and honestly, the Energizer they used was problematic and it wasn't this experience. This has been one of my favorite electrostatic experiences I've had at this show, and they've got the Shangri-La here. Honestly, this thing is nuts. The resolution, how liquid it sounds, but what's more important than that is that you got the sub-bass and the mid-bass attack and authority, which usually is missing from a lot of electrostatics. The way this thing images and layers and the transparency has been absolutely freaking insane. And that Blue Hawaii SE, I think it probably will end up on my desk very, very shortly, because it's just heaven. It's just heaven. Shangri-La Senior on the Blue Hawaii SE, they're still using the IFI Signature IDSD Pro, the one we have on the desk for review right now. This on this setup has been a much bigger performance boost than when I heard it on the main system by itself, the 50 grand system yesterday. But I will be doing another listening to that again. Resolution on this thing is insane. It's very resolving. A little sparkle up top and a little, I would like to say a little energy in the upper mid-range and around the 6K region, but it's non-fatiguing and it's just detail galore, speed, transparency. There's even like some punch on this Blue Hawaii SE that really surprised me. Yesterday I got absolutely no bass whatsoever, but today I had a good time with it. Genuinely, I was just sitting there. I want a lot more content, that's my own stuff to listen to, but yes, it's been interesting, this one, definitely. Would love to compare it to Sesvaras and stuff like that. I think X9000 is more to my taste, but yeah, this has been interesting, definitely.
I'm ready when you
Hi,
are.
so what do we have here? Explain to, talk to me.
Okay, this is our new circumaural ribbon,
Okay.
and it's available with two different pad types.
Uh-huh.
The most neutrally tuned or most commonly balanced is what we call the coffee bean, because it's got slits at 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock.
Okay.
So we call that coffee, and then the other one is fully circumaural like a donut.
Yes.
So we got coffee and donuts.
Nice.
Easy to remember.
These are running at usually 2 ohm loads, right?
0.2 ohm.
0.2 ohm. Ooh, okay.
Super low.
So they come with an interface, I believe, right? And you connect that to any form of amplifier, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
We've developed a transformer interface that allows us to use an amplifier as low, a typical headphone amplifier, as low as 2 watts.
Okay.
It also connects to speaker amps.
Okay.
And I've used it up to 350 watts.
Beautiful. I got a pair of monoblock AHP2s, so
Oh, perfect.
yes.
I have a pair of Bryston 4B SSTs,
Nice.
and in mono they're like 900 watts.
Yikes. Okay. Can I have a quick listen to this and
Absolutely,
talk to the
you're all
camera
set.
and see what the deal is? Excellent. Let me.
Oh, here, let me see something here. I
Yes.
can tell already that somebody connected the. Oh, there we go. We are good.
Fantastic. Okay.
Let's try this other set because that set is balanced for like gaming.
Okay.
And so somebody switched it, I guess, when they were listening, and so it's not really tuned for, like, say, pop music.
Right.
It'd be very good for movies, gaming, hip hop, or something like that.
It sounded really punchy to me, honestly.
Oh, they're
Nice.
ridiculously punchy. This is a more neutrally balanced.
Gotcha. Let's try this
Quite
one.
punchy though.
Okay.
Still punchy. And what's fascinating is you'll hear the difference that the pads make, because that's the only difference is the.
These are the open ones.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are the open ones.
Okay. So these are the coffee bean ones, right?
Yep.
Fantastic.
Good memory.
Yeah. So, these are in price tag 2.5 for these, right?
2.5. If you don't need the interface, they're 2,000.
Honestly, in this price category, they beat everything for detail. Legitimately, they're very quick, very transparent, and ultra resolving. I'm genuinely surprised. So these have been the coffee bean pads with this slit up here and down here. Very comfortable. I'm going to be testing the donut pads in a minute. That's actually a complete circle in a moment. But resolution, if you're looking for resolution, if you're looking for speed, if you're looking for transparency, and you really don't want to spend a lot of money, I honestly can't think of anything else in this price category that can beat it. And I've reviewed in that price category pretty much all of them now. I think we've done it on the channel. So genuinely impressed. I've heard it 3 times now, and every time I sit here, I come away more impressed. So let's try the next one. So using the donut pads, it does sound neutral dark now, but with extension up top. I think once you kind of go beyond 7-8 kilohertz, it starts rising a little bit, but non-fatiguing, in a non-fatiguing way. You got all, so the guitar. What was the track we were listening to? The track we were
Steely Dan.
Steely Dan.
Gaslighting Abbey is the song.
Gaslighting Abbey. Like on the snares and the highs and stuff, it's really quick, ultra detailed. But what really impresses me on both of these pads is the snap of the snare is so visceral. It's very articulate, but this one is a bit more relaxed sounding. I think you can use this set of pads, I think, for a longer period if you are a tiny bit like treble sensitive. Not that the other ones are very, very like treble forward, but I think these are a lot more tame. It does kind of roll off a little bit. And the fact that you can have both of them in the same headphone and you honestly don't have to switch headphones, that's amazing. And it's quite different from each other as well. So I can't wait to put this through thorough testing. I want to test it with the MEZE. I want to test it with the TT2. I want to test it with the Cayenne and see where we go. But genuinely surprised and really, really good performer.
Does it feel a little high, or are you okay?
Let me see. A little tiny bit high, I think. You're right. Yes, about. Yeah. It needs to come down a little bit more.
Let me pull these off.
Okay.
These have a buckle, like a belt buckle almost.
Oh, I see. And then you just drop down a knot. Okay.
Yeah, and you can do it on both sides or just one. And I think in this case, just one side will be enough. Here you go.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Can you play the same song again? I think that would just so that we can actually.
You know, I think that's a great idea. I really like doing that.
Ear speakers. Now this has been an interesting concept. I tried the K1000s, I think, a long time ago, and the MySpheres. Resolution is outstanding on this. I think it's one of those categories where it sort of like feels like electrostatics, but it's so detailed but with a smooth sound characteristic. And what's really interesting about these ones is actually the way you bring the drivers in closer to your ear canal, the more bass response you get. But when you pull it away, it doesn't actually just reduce that bass and the punch and the impact, but what it does is actually it feels like it throws all the entire image in front of you. Ultra high resolution, very nice tonal balance, and it's one of those kind of like situations where you actually just want to experiment, especially with gaming on this. It feels as though almost like this sound is like floating in the air in front of you, and the amount of difference it makes as you're tilting the drivers towards and away from the ear canal it's quite remarkable what you get. Fascinating. It's one of those sound signatures that I have not forgotten when I picked this up yesterday, and it's coming back to it is like going, yes, I recognize those immediately. You know, it's unlike like when you just pick up a normal headphone and it just fades into the background. It's one of those ones that actually stand out. And the sub bass is a bit rolled off, obviously, as you can imagine, because these are sort of floating in the air, but there is good mid bass punch there, and the snare attacks and stuff and the tonal balance is definitely there. Want more time with these. And it's very comfortable as well. The comfort is phenomenal. How much do these weigh?
Same, about 444 grams.
They carry their weight ultra well, genuinely. It's some fascinating stuff here, honestly. Mike Zahl HM1. Now this amp, since it was, I think it was showcased last year, but it was actually really it really spread its wings back in Munich. And so much so that the guys, Golden Sound, Cameron from Golden Sound, and a couple of the others actually literally bought it from the show floor. And they only make 50 units a year because he makes them himself, and so it's going to be quite hard to get hold of. This one is around 8,500 euros, and it's not just a straightforward amplifier. You've got a ton of tone controls, being able to adjust two inputs on the fly, match them, And then you've got like all these controls of like EQ and stage that you can play around with. It's doing some really interesting things. And it's one of those units that on the show floor, you kind of get an idea of how amazing it sounds, how great it sounds. But I think to really appreciate the finer nuances, it needs to be done on a review desk. But it sounds liquid. It sounds like the Serene from Hollow Audio, the Pre, but with actual balls. It's got some serious power, and I really want to put Sasvaras on this. If I can nick one from somewhere today, I definitely will do that. I've heard this on the ZMF Verite Closed. I've heard them on this headphone here, the headphone, this one. And we also listened to it on Dan Clark Audio Stealths as well. And it seems to be having no issues in synergy in regards to headphones. I was actually genuinely surprised with this one just now, listening to this jazz track. You can sort of almost look down and see as if you can see right into the sub bass category. It's very intriguing. Little tiny unit, very small footprint, and I want to test it with a lot more headphones and with a lot more DACs. At the moment, we've got the RME on there, I think. Yeah, it's been very pleasant. Hello there. So, what's happening here? Talk to me.
Well, this is Chord Electronics, and we're here obviously at the London CANJAM 2022, and we've brought a host of products with us, some that are really accessible, but some that are really high-end, so we're covering the whole gambit of what we do. There's quite a lot of partners in the hall as well who've got our products that they're using with their headphones for different applications. So basically you can get to hear all the Chord mobile portable products at this show, and also the exotic things like the Dave, which is our flagship D2A converter stroke preamplifier, and obviously the M-scaler, the upscaler. So we've got everything here from entry point Mojo 2s right up to the Dave and the M-scaler, which is our reference.
So I use a Mojo 2 on a regular basis myself. I've reviewed your Dave, your M-scaler, your TT2, but I've not heard the Annie. And the Hugo 2 I owned a long time ago, but that was way before the channel. So I would like to have a quick listen to those if you don't mind.
Yeah, well, we have
refresh your memory.
We've got an Annie here actually with a Cutest, and you can get to hear that. Obviously, we've got lots of data on tablets which are connected direct into the Cutest.
Yes.
So you can choose whatever you want.
Oh, fantastic.
There's various sets of headphones as well. So you know, we can cover all the bases from really accessible priced headphones to quite exotic ones too.
Yes.
And I think you'll find that the Annie is actually a really nice box of tricks. It drives loudspeakers as well, should you wish to have loudspeakers. So it's probably been in the market now for about a year.
Yes.
But it seems to be gaining a lot more popularity.
Yeah.
People like home office stuff, and they don't want real estate to be taken up by hi-fi.
Exactly,
it's a really
like
good solution. It's a really good solution for that, yeah.
Yes.
So.
Okay, interesting. What headphones do you have here at the moment?
Oh, we've got headphones from MEZE. We've got headphones from Audeze.
Yeah.
They're the two main brands that we have here. Yeah.
Right, I'll try the MM
500s. Yeah.
This one's. Okay. All right. Let's go.
So basically, this is through the Dave. All the digital content is actually on a hard drive.
Yes.
Controllable via this computer.
Okay.
It goes into the M-scaler.
Yes.
And then obviously into the Dave. So basically, right now it's set for the highest level of upscaling.
768, right?
Yeah, depending on the file format.
Yes,
so 705 is a 44.1
that's right,
file.
yes, that's
and basically the volume control is here. If you up this here.
Thank you so much.
There you
That's
go.
it. Yes.
Yeah, so that's the volume control, and away you go and have a listen.
Thanks,
As for the content, maybe I should play you something. Yeah,
just shuffle it.
Okay.
Fine. Thank you.
You can choose the level of upscaling that you know. So you can actually bypass the M scaler because there's a facility on the M scaler to do that, and you can choose the level of upscaling that you require.
Yeah, it's exactly what I remember. Absolutely mind-boggling. So, at the Chord booth, the Dave and the M Scaler review has not been released just yet, but instant memory recall, that pitch black background is just absolutely unreal. I heard these MM500s on the system that was set up by Audeze, and you just realize how much stage the Dave actually puts out. It's kind of nuts. The layering and the detail of the Dave, it's addictive, and I actually genuinely miss it. It's an instant, like a recognition thing that is just instantly there. I love the Dave. I genuinely do. It's been freaking awesome. Hi, so what's happening here? These headphones look very, very interesting.
Thank you. Spirit Torino is a pretty startup because we were born in 2018.
Okay.
The founder is Mr. Andrea Ricci, and he developed a good experience in the hi-fi sector.
Okay.
Since 2018, we decided to help him in make the company grow.
Yeah.
And finally, we can say we have a complete collection of headphones. We consider this a good experiment, a good way to stay in the high-end sector.
Yeah, this is the very high end of your headphones. This one, yes. This is your flagship.
Valkyria is a flagship that is, let me say, an experiment on developing our top of the list that is twin pulse. Let me say the story. During the lockdown, the 2020 lockdown,
yes,
we decided to make something new.
Yes.
To develop without paying any attention to the cost in developing our previous flagship. Our best patent, that is twin pulse isobaric system. So we developed, as I said, without paying attention to the cost, and the result has been Valkyria. That is, let me
no
say,
holds bar, basically. It wasn't about money, it was about performance, right?
Yes, it was exactly this, about performance.
Yeah. These, let me have a listen. Now these are beautiful.
Thank you.
It's so unique looking as well. It doesn't look like other headphones, you know? It's absolutely stunning.
To remember our slogan.
Yes.
Okay, slogan. Thank you. Has to be there, and because I can say I was in the choir while the recording was taken. For me, listen is really like to be there in that moment.
Yeah.
And for us, working for and with musicians is a way to develop our products, and is a way to help a musician to improve his performance.
Yes.
And for sure, another thing we prefer to transform in our way to produce our headphone is not to give colors to the music. It's the musician have to choose what to communicate.
Yes.
For us, to take the reality and send the reality to your ear is our main issue. Okay.
Okay, so these, you guys know the amount of headphones and equipment we have tested here has been just absolutely insane. We've heard anything from the Shangri-La with the main system and the MEZE DAC that goes up to about 95,000. I think that DAC they said was priced at 40,000, which was absolutely ridiculous. So we've heard a lot of things. These I've come back to 3 times now. This has been the 3rd sitting. And first of all, the design and form and structure is built like an absolute tank. You can see it in every part of it. It's very unique. You will never forget it. But none of that matters. Let's forget about that, yeah? Shall we? Let's talk about the sound. I just heard a binaural recording on this thing. I literally took the headphones off because I thought somebody had speakers on over there, and I was thinking, what the hell are you doing in a headphone show? Why are they turning speakers on? What it conveys is the atmosphere around the instrument in the most realistic way I've heard, and it's got this like warm tonality to it that doesn't impinge on the detail, and everything is so present. I genuinely want to walk away with these. It's captivating. You've got the detail of, like, for example, an electrostatic where you're getting as much information as you want, but it doesn't sacrifice enjoyability. As soon as you put these on your head, you're in the song itself. And I want this on my desk and it needs to be reviewed. So I'm going to talk to these lovely gentlemen about, see if there's absolutely any way that this can come for a review, because this has been a shocking experience. Hats off to you guys, genuinely. This has been amazing.
All right.
Hi, so tell us what's going on this table then.
All right, we've got, and I don't think you actually listened to any of these. This one that I'm handing you now.
Okay.
Those are custom, they're made out of solid blocks of material.
Okay.
Like that one's made out of a wood. And it's, we use a CNC machine. And it's unique in that every single piece is totally different as far as looks and beauty.
Yeah.
This is made from a moss or birch that's triple stained. This one is made out of pine cones. So,
nice.
And they're all hand done as far as the face plates, and the finish is all hand done.
Absolutely beautiful.
And then what you just listened to is our latest one called the Kublai Khan.
Okay.
And it's got a dynamic driver, a 10 millimeter dynamic driver, 4 BAs, and a piezo electric super tweeter.
Okay.
And then a bone conduction driver.
Is this your flagships at the moment?
No, our Sultan is actually our flagship.
Okay.
And that one has an all aluminum body with an acrylic faceplate. And then it's got a 10 millimeter dynamic, 4 BAs, and 2 electrostatics in it.
Okay, interesting. I'm going to talk to them lot in a minute about this one, because I've got a lot of things to say.
Sure.
And I would like to demo the other one as well, if it's available. Are these cables part of the units themselves? Are these what you guys provide, or are these like custom third parts?
That particular cable you have in your hand is a prototype cable that we have. It's a graphene silver.
Yeah.
And it's, the interesting thing about it is it's got a changeable plug, so you can have a 3.5 or 4.4 or 2.5 plug.
Nice, okay.
Now this particular cable, this is our standard cable.
Okay. Oh, this one, okay.
Yeah. It's very similar, but that's an all copper cable.
Yeah.
And that's our 8-core cable. Here's the...
These are really beautiful. Because you don't normally see IEMs come with nice cables. You just don't, you know?
Right.
It's very rare.
We decided a couple of years ago that we were going to start really improving on the standard cables.
Beautifully braided.
And we like the feel. We want to make sure that the feel of the cable is very
soft,
good.
no audiophonics.
Right.
Okay. So, Kublai Khan from Noble. These have a 10 millimeter dynamic driver. 4 BAs, right, on this one? Super tweeter and bone conduction. Now, it's the bone conduction that literally drew me to this because of the unique melody MEZE stuff. It's not something that most manufacturers actually integrate, and I'm very happy that everybody's sort of like doing this now. The presentation on this, tuning was beautifully smooth. I could not hear a crossover between the bass to the mid-range to the treble. Now, this is normally an actual problem that you find with multi-driver IEMs, and it's immediately noticeable to me, but on this one it's got like this warm tint to it, very detailed. But what I found really impressive was the actual spatial presentation and the layering that just comes from the track being demonstrated to you, and it just sounded natural, non-fatiguing, silk smooth. I would actually like to bring these onto the desk for review and test it with a variety of like portable equipment just to see how it synergizes with a lot of amplifiers and DACs and things like that. But the experience I had here today now was, yeah, quite pleasing. Definitely, I can literally hear it in my head and I can recall. So these are their flagship ones. Really beautiful faceplate and really beautiful design. But you can tell that technically these are superior. But I prefer the tuning on the other one. But what was really actually mesmerizing was the fact that I felt as though I could fall into the mix. Like I could see right down into the sub-bass region. Depth on this was really apparent. And what I found with these two, using the same track that I've been listening to, that separation is a very, very strong contender for these IEMs. I definitely would like to review these, I think. Hi, so what's happening here? Talk to me.
Yeah, our brand is called In-Ear. Okay. As the brand says, we are manufacturer for high-end in-ear monitorings.
Okay.
And we are a brand out of Germany. Everything without the tube amp, everything is handcrafted in Germany.
Okay.
And we specialized more like on the universal fit side, but we also do a lot of custom stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And do they cross over? So you can you get like a universal and go, okay, I want a custom version of this one, that kind of thing, yeah?
I will say a classical reshell for you send us the universal fit and we create a custom fit. Is not the common way, but I think for every request we find a solution.
Oh, I see. Okay. Can I hear anything? Do you have anything for demo?
Of course.
Fantastic. Let's work our way down. So what's your flagships? Basically, that's where we start usually.
We have 2 flagships.
Okay.
2 flagships with completely 2 different stories.
Okay.
On the one side, we call it a studio reference monitor.
Yes.
It's the Profile 8. It's an 8-driver system, and it's really flat. It's neutral. It's like a measurement tool, for example.
Yeah.
And on the other side, we have the ProMission X, which is the more funny brother of the Profile 8.
Okay, what's the architecture? What's the topology inside the drivers? You said 8 drivers. What is it? BAs or?
Everything is BAs.
Okay.
BAs. Yeah, we all only work with BAs.
BAs. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I hear the reference first, please? Actually.
What do you want with the Pro?
Sorry?
Do you want to start with the profile, or do you want?
Yeah, the profile. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What is also pretty special about the profile is that we have 2 switches on.
Okay.
And you can increase bass and treble by turning the switches up. When both are down, it's the flat, studio sound.
How many dB does it increase by?
The bass is up to 3 dB and the treble up to 2.
Okay.
But it's a pretty narrow frequency range where we increase the bass and the treble.
Oh, I see. Where is it around?
For the bass, it's 20 to, I will say, 100 to 200.
Okay.
Would go up, and the treble is only about 8 to 9 kilohertz.
Okay.
It's a little bit more sparkle in.
Okay.
For a little bit more details.
Yeah.
So
basically, in that ear, it's not. It's that in the dip of the hearing, isn't it? Like around 9K, they usually increase that. So if
I think for us, 8 to 9K is a pretty necessary frequency range for resolution.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, you need some
medium tips, please.
Medium tips, and I also can look at a ear channel if you want.
Okay.
I will have a look. Yeah, medium is good.
Fantastic.
Do you have a device for playing music?
Do you have anything with you? I've got
course.
something, but my Mojo 2 is not here because the cable died. So I used it so much as I don't know what the hell happened. Honestly, that wasn't a fun experience. But
if you want, I can help you with plugging it in.
What do I have with
I
me?
will
What
make.
this is? What do you
The
have with you here right now? What's it being tested on?
What do you mean?
Do you have any equipment here? Any
Yeah,
decks
yeah.
or anything?
I have a wonderful SB1000 from Kern.
Yeah, let's do that. I think
Yeah.
that'll be the best thing right now than what I'm carrying in my pocket.
So I will plug it in your ear.
Thank you so much. Gents do customs as well, so they understand how the human ear works immediately. Once you get the right tips, these were isolating as hell, just dead. Now, let's talk about the tuning. These are as reference as you're going to get. Neutral, I honestly think I can use this for mixing and mastering. It feels as though you can just use it for mixing at the desk without any problems. We used 3 separate tracks. Separation is really good, really good. The experience is slightly out of your head, but it's within the intimate sort of scope. But sub-bass hits hard, it slaps well, there was really good detail, but the tonal balance was really correct. It's a sort of reference monitor where your brain doesn't go, okay, there's something wrong with the frequency response here, there, or that kind of thing, or you go, okay, let's push this forward a bit, or push this down a bit. It was a smooth delivery, but just dead neutral, dead neutral. And what these have apparently is a bass boost by about 3 dB and treble boost as well. So I've not obviously don't have time to test those here, but these are, if you're looking for reference, I think this is a company you should definitely check out, because this was I want neutral. Okay, here's neutral. This will show you what the hell is happening.
What do you say about my collection, my music selection? You fine with it, or?
Yeah, that was definitely on, because it gave me a broad scope from 3 different areas that I could focus on. Especially the last one, I could actually focus on the sub bass, the drum impact, and the delivery as well. Hi, so what's happening here? Talk to me.
So we've got we're representing 64Audio. It's a brand from the US.
Yes.
All right, and we are doing a custom in-ear monitoring system, CIMs and IEMs, right? So for sound stage, for musicians, and for high-end people really liking music and the sound of 64Audio.
Yeah, fantastic. Can I have a look at your U12Ts and the 18Ts?
Absolutely.
As well,
yeah.
Those two I actually had a quick go with yesterday.
Okay.
I want to sit down with those a little bit more and actually.
Okay, so we've got the U12T here.
Fantastic.
12 balanced amateur driver per side. This is the most popular
it's so
IEM
silky
from
smooth.
us. Here you go. Have you got tips, or do you need them?
Medium ones, please.
Medium. Here you go. Do you want to pop them on yourself?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
So, the U12Ts. Now, these have been synonymous. I've been trying to get hold of these for quite a while. Every time I brought up an old VXs, everybody kept mentioning 64Audio U12Ts. It's time to actually hear those. And now I've heard them. I had a quick listen to these yesterday alongside the U18Ts. Now, these are very, very smooth sounding. There's absolutely doesn't seem to be anywhere in the frequency response where I would like to drag down or bring up at all. Good sub-bass extension, actually good impact, and very, very good textural information as well. It feels very tactile. Spatial presentation is pretty good. You're not going to get the unique melody mess, bone conduction insanity that happens, which sort of spreads around instruments within the mix that actually sometimes seems a lot more out of control and out of placement, but everything seems very in line and very cohesive. Good depth information as well with this, and I think the first thing that you just get from this is the tonal balance. That's the first thing that just hits you first, and quite resolving as well. I would like to test these on a variety of equipment, I think, first to get a thorough understanding. A showroom floor is not like the environment we actually are looking for, kind of to get a full thorough understanding. But very, very strong start. The hype that's been happening around these IEMs is kind of warranted. It's a very good IEM that actually just covers a lot of bases for a lot of people. I would like to check a variety of genres, I think, but yeah, a very, very strong start, and they're very comfortable, very, very isolating. I couldn't hear a single thing once these were in my ears. The foam tips really helps. The bore is quite narrow as well. 12 balanced armatures in these. U18Ts, I prefer the tuning definitely on the U12Ts more than these, for me, for my subjective tastes. These are a lot more tamer in the treble region, they're a lot darker, but yet kind of purveying a neutral soundscape. But the authority and the sub bass and the mid bass on this is just immediately apparent from the U12Ts. It's a lot more impactful, you get a lot more body, and that sub bass actually does roll along really nicely. But what happens here, you find in the treble region, is it tends to be a little bit more rounded. It's a little bit less, I wouldn't like to say the word sharp, but with the edge of attack. It's a little bit more polite with this information, but it does provide you with the right information, just not in your face. And I think you could just sort of like sink into a couch and actually hear these IEMs without being too bothered about anything. There's nothing there that actually will stand out too much that will make you sit bolt upright. But that sub bass and the bass region on this is definitely more authoritative than the U12Ts. Hello mate, so talk to me. What do we have here?
So we have this stand is technically the Fur Audio stand. So
Okay.
Fur Audio is an American high-end American audio brand, specializing in IEMs.
Yeah.
They do other stuff. They do have an amazing IEM vacuum, which kind of extracts stuff from your IEMs to keep them clean and functioning.
Okay.
They do have all kinds of accessories as well that they sell. So Fur Audio released 3 years ago, I believe, released a first lineup, which was the M lineup.
Okay.
So there was, I think, M3, M4, and M5. The M3 has now been discontinued.
Okay.
The M4 has a warm, all-rounder warm signature. The M5 has a bit more detail, a bit brighter, a bit more crisp treble, bigger stage. So this was their first lineup, very well received. The M5, I would say in particular, is still considered a Summit-Fi IEM, even with everything else that's come since.
Okay, what's the price point of that one, the M5?
It's 2.8 in dollars, so
Okay,
dollar price.
Okay,
yeah,
that's fine.
And then this year, Fur Audio came up with this lineup, which is the Frontier lineup, which is the one that you see here. Sorry, and that is the NE4, which I'm trying to find, the KR5, and the XE6.
Okay.
So the NE4 is kind of, you take the M4 and you kind of expand it a bit more bass, it's still very warm.
Yeah.
It's a great all-rounder. I did a write-up on the NE4 and I called it Universal Love because it's warm, it's detailed, it has smooth treble, it has a lot of staging. It's something that everyone would love.
Okay.
So people who love a warm signature, the NE4 is amazing with that kinetic bass. So what the Frontier lineup has is what we call kinetic bass. So this is a DD bass that is vented.
Okay.
And this vent sits against the ear.
Okay.
And so you get a bone conduction effect. So you get a more visceral, tactile
impact as well. Yeah.
Exactly, impact from the bass. So the NE4 is the warm, all-rounder, smooth entry level into this lineup. The KR5 and XE6, they are technically co-flagships.
KN N8 Mark II. Yeah, win for the win. Monarch Mark IIs, punchy, authoritative, neutral with sub-bass elevation. It needs to be bought in immediately. This is a killer setup. CANJAM 2022 London has just come to an end. Exhausted, shattered, full of whiskey, full of food, and honestly some of the stuff we heard was absolutely exceptional. I never thought we would get to hear a lot of those things for quite a while to come, but we got there. And a special heartfelt thank you to so many of you I met today. I was so overwhelmed. Honestly, the support has been just incredible. Until the next one, peace.